great performance in your last outing in the UFC. Just want to say that. And you had a fight booked for November 8th, correct?
Yeah, yep.
That got canceled, and now we are 4 months into the year, and you don't have a fight booked. Uh, is there negotiations going on? Do you have an opponent? Do you know you're the next guy you're facing?
No, so yeah, that fight back in November, I got injured in that one, so I had to pull and then took me
Yeah.
a couple months to recover from it. But and now no, I don't have an opponent, just waiting for the call for the next fight. But in the meantime, I'm training, getting better and working on what I have to work on in the meantime.
Man, it seems you surround yourself around just every part of training. I mean, I take a look at your Instagram. I don't think one photo isn't associated to training. It's just training every day. And I see that you're a hard worker. Do you find that surrounding your lifestyle just around that kind of helps with your game in a way and just staying focused early on in your career?
Yeah, for sure. I kind of been doing that like my whole life, just around training. I train like every single day, 6, 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day, and I feel like that's what got me here, and that's what will get me to the top. So I'm gonna continue to do that and do what I have to do.
Now, I understand you're waiting on the call for your next fight, but if you had to predict how many fights you really want to have this year, how much would that be?
Yeah, obviously, like you're saying, we're almost halfway through the year already. I could get two, I would be happy, but really, I would love three. I would love three. I like being active. I like fighting a lot. Back when I was fighting in the regional scene, I was fighting 3, 4 times a year. If I could keep that with the UFC fighting 3, 4 times a year, I would love that too.
Yeah. Now, in your last performance, you absolutely dominated your opponent, made it look easy. And do you feel that having your first loss in your career kind of taught you something that winning can't?
100%, losses I feel like for sure teach you more than wins do. I learned a lot in that loss of mine and then went back with my coaches and teammates and we were just constantly working on what we have to get better at and came August, so like 5 months after that, I got that first round finish.
Yeah. And in your division, there's a lot of young, up and coming talent. What do you feel separates you from the other guys?
I feel like it's my work ethic, my work ethic, and I have a lot of experience. I've been training since I was 8. I've competed hundreds and hundreds of matches, jujitsu, wrestling. I have Muay Thai fights, and of course MMA. But just been doing this my whole life, and I'm very comfortable competing. To me, competing is what excites me, and I love doing it. And I'm always training year round. You hear a lot of these fighters that are only training when they're in camp, really. But me, I'm training all year round, every single day, and I feel like that's what separates me from them.
Now, if there was a fighter that you would kind of like say that your style kind of emulates in a way that is kind of similar to, who would you say?
I would say Marab. Marab, he has that relentless pressure. He has good cardio. He keeps on going, and when I fight, I try to do that same. Just not stop pressure forward, keep bringing the fight, and just try to wear them out and finish them.
And within the next 3 years, where do you see yourself being?
Honestly, I could see myself being a UFC champion. As long as I get fights and I stay healthy, I could really see myself being champion.
And do you believe the plan is to stay at 145 for the rest of your career, or do you plan on like maybe changing divisions at a point in your career, or because you're very young, so there's always that opportunity.
Of course, yeah. For now, staying at 145. Originally my first 11 pro fights were at 135, and then I got older, got bigger, got stronger, moved up to 45. But I'd like to stay here for a long time and see if I grow in the next couple of years. But for now, just staying here.
Now, we saw Joshua Van, how quickly he was able to get to well, the title within a year of just fighting constantly. Now, do you believe that maybe by the half point of next year, it's possible that you're able to enter the top 15, even with 145 kind of being a stalling division as of recent?
Yeah, I hope so. That's what I'm saying. As long as I could get these fights, get the fights in, and we could get stuff on a roll. And yeah, I see myself in the top 15 and working my way up the ranks.
Now, do you think that any fighter is kind of protected or like in the UFC a bit? Kind of like gets like those easy fights, whereas some people get those harder fights.
Maybe, people's strength of schedule might be harder for others than other people, but to me, it's whoever they really want me to fight. That's who I'll fight hard, easy. I feel like if you want to be a champion, you got to fight them all.
Yeah. And listen, I'm asking every fighter that I have on up until the White House card to predict the card. I could ask, I'm probably going to say a rapid fire. You could say a name. You could say why if you want. But I know your answer to one of the fights, of course, your
Mhm.
teammate Diego Lopez. But do you mind if I just list all the fights and you say your opinion on them?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, perfect. Now, Hawkett versus Lewis. It was recently added.
I got Jokic.
Hawkett.
Yep.
Uh, Lopez versus Garcia.
Lopez, KO.
KO, man. First round.
Yeah, I'll see a first round knockout.
Bo Nickel versus Kyle Dawkins.
I got Bo Nickel submission.
Ruffy versus Chandler.
Ruffy, I see a knockout.
Zahabi versus O'Malley. Now, be careful because Zahabi is from my hometown. So,
Ah,
no, I'm kidding. I'm completely neutral in that fight. I love that fight.
I was gonna say O'Malley, but if he's from your hometown, we'll go Zahabi.
No, no, you go with what you want. You go with what you want.
O'Malley, O'Malley,
Yeah, yeah. Pereira versus Gan.
Herrera.
Pereira. Okay, now the main event, I really want to know your breakdown on this one, Taporia versus Gaethje. It's the fight that a lot of people care about, and
Hmm I got Topuria. I think he just a little bit too. He's very smart. Super. His fight IQ is on a different level. I see him knocking out Gaethje.
all right, very well, man. Uh, so, uh, is there a desired opponent for you in the future that you really want to face? Now, I know you said back in the past that your dream opponent was Max Holloway, but obviously he's at 155. Now, there's always that possibility of, going up there, but in the 145-pound division, who are like three fighters that you really want to face?
Yeah. Like once I kind of start working up these ranks, I would love to face Gene Silva. I think all his everything he does before and after the fights are it would be a really good fight. He's super tough, super good. And also Arnold Allen now.
Hmm,
I feel like he's up there. And then who am I missing? Let me think of this one.
maybe a Kevin Vallejos.
Kevin Vallejos, yes. Because he has a lot of hype on him. A lot of hype. He's young. I think he's only like 26, 27, right?
I believe so. I think you guys are pretty similar age. I don't know if he's either. I think he's your age, maybe.
Yeah, maybe okay. Because
Yeah,
we were
that
on the same Year of Contender series.
Yeah, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
really interesting matchup between you
hmm
guys.
Yeah,
Honestly, I would love to see that. There's a lot of fun matchups for you within that division.
for
I'd like to
sure.
see that.
For sure.
Yeah, and I also heard on another podcast you had said that you were playing all the UFC games with your brothers when you were kids.
hmm
I would say, what do you think about the whole UFC situation where a lot of fans are not the biggest fan of like the new games, are more a fan of the old games. Personally, I love a UFC Undisputed 3. I don't know if you remember that one,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Yeah.
that was my go-to. I don't know what's yours.
hmm I used to play I play them all. I even play this one right now with my brother. We play a
Yeah.
lot, the newest one out. But 2010.
Oh, 2010 with the Brock
Yep.
Lesnar cover.
hmm
Yeah,
Yep, that
that
one.
was it, man.
We were
That was
playing a
really
lot of
good.
that one. Even 2009, I think it was Forrest Griffin cover, right? Maybe.
2009, I think it was GSP on the cover, correct?
Was it GSP? I forgot.
I think
But
so, man.
yeah.
Uh, Speaking of GSP, I also heard you said that you really looked up to GSP, Anderson Silva, Demetrius Johnson, and John Jones, if I
hmm
recall. Those are as the four names. If all were in the same weight class, who do you think would win in like a tournament, let's say?
I would go with John Jones.
John Jones?
I think so, John Jones.
And
Yeah.
who do you think would face him in the final matchup?
GSP.
GSP?
GSP versus John Jones.
I can't argue with that answer. That's a good answer, to be honest.
You think the same, or what do you think?
Personally, I don't know. I always see GSP and the GOAT, but remember, I'm born
Yeah.
in this culture in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I'm seeing every time. So
Of course.
obviously that's gonna be my answer.